welcome back to a new video. Today's video is going to be a how to travel to Europe on a budget. You can do this anywhere, but I just say Europe because that's really only where I've traveled to on a budget. First up is to try and fly at non-peak times. I know a lot of people have to fly during peak times like holidays and stuff like that, like school holidays, Christmas holidays, any type of holidays, because you know they have school or work and they can only go certain times. But if you can, try and go on non-peak times, and it's a lot cheaper to fly or bus or anything, any way you get there. The next thing is to, if you can, if you're only going on a couple of days, try to only bring a carry-on, like only a backpack, not a carry-on suitcase. Just because I know throughout Europe, if you fly with like Ryanair or I think EasyJet or stuff like that, you have to pay extra to get a carry-on. And I know that most of the time I flew, like 2 or 3 times I flew, I had to only go with a backpack because I couldn't even get a carry-on. They've all sold out and I didn't want to pay for a checked bag. So if you look at a couple of my vlogs and like pack with me's for Europe and stuff like that, you'll see that I could only bring a backpack. But I managed to do it every single time. The next thing, which is obvious, is just to stay in hostels. I was a little adamant about staying in hostels when I first was going on my first holiday. I think it was to Poland. No, Spain. Spain was my first one. I first hostel experience was in Dublin and it wasn't very good. Because I didn't get to book it, so it was a mixed 4-bedroom, and so it was just me and like 3 other guys, and it was first time in a new country by myself. It just wasn't comfortable. So every time I stay in hostels, I try and stay in a female only room. Unless I'm staying with someone, like if someone else is coming with me, then I'll do a mixed room. But I know it can be a little more pricier to stay in a female only room, and I try to stay at 4 or 6 beds. I have stayed in a 10-bed one and it was fine. That was in Spain. It was actually one of the best hostels I've been to. Just try and stay in hostels. It's definitely a whole lot cheaper. The next thing is do a free walking tour. Free walking tours are a great way to see the city or town that you're in for free or for a little charge, because free walking tours, they're free but you pay, like you tip them however much you think it's worth. I've done a free walking tour in nearly every single place I've been to. I think every place I've been to by myself I have done one, except for Spain, because that was my first holiday by myself, so I didn't really know about free walking tours, so I didn't do one, but I definitely will do one. I'm definitely going to go back to Spain again, because I didn't see as much as I wanted to. I just didn't really know about traveling, like solo traveling. I wasn't the best at it. The next thing, which is kind of hit or miss for some people, you don't have to do this, but it's definitely a good way to save money if you have a budget, is don't eat out. Whenever I traveled, I never ate out. I only ate out a couple of times, but it would be like at McDonald's or something. I have this thing where I like to try McDonald's in every country. I haven't. I think there's maybe 2 countries I haven't tried it in, just because I went to like 2 countries in one day, so I didn't want to eat McDonald's like twice that day. But at restaurants and stuff, when I'm by myself, I'm really scared to go to restaurants. I would always go to supermarkets and stuff to try and find gluten-free options, because it's really expensive to find gluten-free meals at restaurants and everything. So I would just get what I could get. Like I think it was in Amsterdam, I couldn't really find any gluten-free options. There was this one store that I could find that had gluten-free stuff, but it was like cakes and pretzels and stuff. So I just got that because it was the only gluten dairy-free thing I could get. It wasn't healthy, but it was what I could get, and I really didn't want to go around the day with a painful stomach because I ate the wrong thing. Next thing goes along kind of with the free like walking tours, is just walk wherever you can. Obviously, if you're too far away from the city or wherever you want to go, public transport is the next way, because it is cheaper. I know that in Germany, I got from the airport to my hostel and from my hostel back to the airport when I left for free. I don't know if I can say that on here. I went to pay, but you couldn't pay at the thing, and then I just seen people were just walking on and walking off without doing anything, like not paying or not tapping a card or anything. So I did that and that was fine. I had money just in case someone was like, hey, you need to pay. But yeah, it was fine. It was only like, I think it's only like $1 or €1 something, €2 or something. So it's not that expensive anyway. But yeah, walk where you can pretty much. A lot of my hostels were actually a 20-minute walk away from the city centre. which can be an issue, but I know, I believe in Spain I was staying like right in the center. It was a really cheap hostel and it was great. And then Poland, I actually stayed in an apartment. It was cheaper than a hostel. I stayed in a little apartment, and that was about a 25-minute walk from like the old town, you know, the center of it and everything, but it's about a 5-minute walk from the Jewish quarter and everything, so it was kind of close-ish. And I just walked everywhere, although it was nearly 40 degrees. It's like 38 degrees, and I got real sunburn that day. The next one really depends on what country you're from, but it's to try not to go to a country when you're on a budget that requires a visa, because visas can be expensive sometimes. I personally don't have to have a visa for anywhere I go or anywhere I went. I had to have a visa when I went to America, but it was about $14, maybe like $20, about like 14 American dollars. So that was really cheap, and it's a 2-year just like visitor visa thing. But everywhere else in Europe at least, I don't have to have a visa to go to, so that was great. The last thing, which really depends on the person, is try not to buy like any gifts or souvenirs. I had this thing where I like to collect stickers for the country I'm going to and put it on my suitcase, so I just spend like 2-3 euros, like for some reason like 3 euros for a sticker is really expensive, but I tried to go for €1 to €2 for a sticker, and that's it. A couple of times I would get like a little key ring or something that was cheap, but I didn't buy anything big at all. Only in Amsterdam I bought a couple of things, but that was my last holiday by myself, and I had the room in my suitcase, so I thought I would just go ahead and buy something. It was only little, but I still bought something extra that I didn't need. So that is everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and can take something from that. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below and click the bell notification next to it to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.